Just knowing that, yep, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That way you can't be beating yourself up too much unnecessarily for things that are out of everyone's control at this point. Unless you're a Nobel Prize scientist winner, it's probably not up to you to find the cure for the coronavirus. So focus on the things that you can control, and yeah, we'll be out of this eventually. Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about unemployment and kind of the steps you can take to try to navigate this time a little bit more confidently. I know it's a scary time, not only just kind of in the world and the things going on, but obviously if you're listening to this or watching this, it's probably because you either are someone or know someone, or as the case may be as well, that you might just be fearful that you might be losing your job here in the near future. And one thing that may help would just be to know that you're not alone. There's a lot of people that have this fear on their mind. There's a lot of people that have already been notified that they're being laid off. And there's a few things I'm just going to hit on the major line items, breaking out between the financial side and then also the kind of career side. I do recommend that if you know someone or you have some colleagues that you trust and have worked with a career coach, I think that's important to check out and see if it would be a good fit for you at this stage of the game. But on the financial side, there's the unemployment benefits. That's something that has been juiced up. They're calling it unemployment on steroids. And that's because whatever the normal state benefits that you would have been eligible for, now you get to add $600 a week on top of that, as well as there's no waiting period. So there's a week normally that you'd have to wait on that. But the federal government stepped in and said they're going to cover that and pay that kind of full unemployment benefit that first week. So that's kind of step one. Just get that process going. I'm sure there's going to be long waits, things of that nature, but you want to get that kicked off if you've been notified that you're unemployed. Another important aspect to be aware of is what your burn rate is. And what I call the burn rate, it's how much you actually are spending every single month. And so hopefully if you are unemployed and you're stressed out about the situation, it might make you feel a little bit better knowing that you actually are in control of the burn rate. Obviously there's fixed expenses like you have rent, mortgage, things like that you may have to pay. That would be something worth contacting those companies or individuals and see if there's any flexibility there in the short run until you kind of get things organized. But either way, there's a certain amount that you need to spend, and then there's some excess stuff that we tend to spend over and above what is actually required to live and to get by. So find out what that number is and find out if you're going to be able to stick to that too. So if maybe normally you spent $5,000 a month, well, if you don't need a chunk of that, maybe you can live off of $3,000 a month. Even if it's going to be tight, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that buys you more time. It buys you some more flexibility. And with the unemployment on steroids, that may actually cover stuff for a substantial period of time where you're not going to have to burn into your actual resources. Another thing about the burn rate too is a lot of my clients, a lot of people I know make over $100,000 and they're like, holy smokes, how are we going to replace this if we lose our income? Well, you don't have to pay Social Security or Medicare taxes on the unemployment benefits, and that's not something that needs to be factored into your burn rate. So normally that is already deducted out of your paychecks. So just make sure you're aware of what the actual expenses are, because there's going to be a lot of things that you had paid when you were employed that you're not going to have to pay. So Social Security, Medicare, you're not going to have to pay those taxes. There's also 401k contributions. You're not going to be making those as well. So there's probably a good 10 to 15% of your income that was going towards these things that you don't have to account for. You don't have to worry about that being a part of your expenses and being added into your burn rate. So it's not the total of your gross income that you're needing in order to survive. So I hope that that's helpful for you, as well as with this unique time period too. It's not like you're unemployed in a normal time period. You're unemployed when it's kind of looked down upon to go out and travel, do too much outside. So you're probably not eating out as frequently and you're not traveling nearly as much as you probably would want to. So those are expenses too that you're able to reduce down over what they could have been. And so you might not need as much income to kind of get you by until things start to normalize as you may think. Another thing that's important to be aware of is where your resources are. That's your savings account, that's your retirement accounts, it's your credit cards, your home equity, stuff like that. You want to know crystal clear where all of your pieces are. And if you have a significant other, it's good to get these all in one spot so you're not thinking that this is all that exists, because sometimes there's stuff on the other side. And sometimes I see this occasionally where people think there's more, the other one has more than what they actually have. But oftentimes it seems that they under expect, like, oh, I doubt they're saving or whatever. And then they come to the table with some resources and things that may help during this time. So just make sure you're aware of those. So it'll give you comfort and just kind of clarity of what the reality of the situation is. And that kind of covers the financial side. On the employment side, there's things that you can do. So you can level up your skills. You can do that now, even if you're not unemployed. I'm sure you might be able to find a little bit of free time where you can kind of see what different options are, where there could be hiring possibilities within your skill set and things that you could develop pretty quickly. So you can focus on those things and start to level up your skills. Definitely make sure you update your resume. LinkedIn's very powerful as far as potential employment opportunities. Surprisingly, I've heard people get in job offers and opportunities through Twitter as well. So that's something to check out. I just wrote a post on LinkedIn today, and my friend Sammy Gardner recommended that look through your old performance reports and see if there's any kind of data, any information that you could actually add to your resume in LinkedIn. So if there's some statistics, some quantitative results that you've done and achieved, you want to make sure that you pull that now while you still have access to some of those resources, because sometimes those things are stuck in work email. Sometimes it's stuck on your work computer. So if you're still working, try to access that. If you're not working currently, do your best to try to remember what that data was, or to see if you saved it on your personal side somewhere. But yeah, that's going to help as far as just showing how you stack up relative to all these other people that are unemployed that you're going to be competing against. Connections are huge. So catch up with old connections. It's going to be helpful too, just letting people know that you're available for work. If you don't tell them, there's no way for anyone to know other than those one or two or handful of places that you apply for. And the best way to get a new position ever, especially during a recession, is by people that already know and trust and kind of know your type of character. So a lot of times skills can be taught, but character is really what a lot of places are looking for, especially during these times where you can only have so many select employees. You really want to make sure that they're going to be the best people to be around during these stressful time periods. And I think the last one that I've seen a lot from career coaches and people going through this process right now is establish a routine. Yes, you're going to be applying for a lot of places and it's going to get very stale very quickly. But if you get into a routine, I know it's a quarantine routine, but try to find a rhythm that works for you as far as when you're eating and when you're kind of getting exercise, taking care of the personal health side, then applying for jobs, writing cover letters, updating things, reaching out to people and connections and things like that. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a well-rounded approach to attacking unemployment or the possibility of unemployment in the future. And I think that the best thing you can do is just focus on the things you can control. Obviously, it stinks that this is all occurring just in our world in general, but best thing we can do is control the things that will actually improve our possibilities and improve our confidence about the future. And that should go a long way as far as helping you navigate these stressful times. Just knowing that, yep, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That way you can't be beating yourself up too much unnecessarily for things that are out of everyone's control at this point. Unless you're a Nobel Prize scientist type winner, it's probably not up to you to find the cure for the coronavirus. So focus on the things that you can control. And yeah, we'll be out of this eventually. I wish there was more kind of sight to that end of the road, but I know that we're all in this together. And if you reach out to people, people are going to have your back. People are going to want to support and help any way they can. And over time, this will be something that you're not going to have to worry about unemployment anymore. And hopefully as well, we won't have to worry about the coronavirus.